All right. Come on over. Yep. Shikanata Mitsu Daikomyo. Okay, so we're gonna kick off this thing with this idea of these 6 treasures of the Bujinkan. And so what we want to do a little bit tonight is remember that as Hatsumi Sensei went through his progress, right? So think about 60 years ago, then 50 years ago, and 40. He was going through a progression himself. And then his students were going through a progression, so everyone goes through a progression. There's no Soke didn't start off with okay, here's the full template understanding, and then I'm going to hand this out over the next 60 years. It's not like that at all. So when you understand that, and I think everyone does understand that, then think about it from the point of view of now, the Soke looking back and being like, whew, man, I was all over the place there to get to the understanding. So now it could be all right, so now we want a concise understanding. So as a teacher now, let's say the Soke could just become young. So he could just be 25 years old again. But nobody knows. How would he try to get people to understand this? Well, I say it's the way that he tried to get people to understand it in the last 20 years of his teaching, which is look, here are these basic things, but we can't be basic people. You need to learn them, but you can't stay there. So what we want to do right now is, and this is the thing you should periodically do, we're going to look at this Kuden series from Soke. Kuden means the oral transmission. It's just basically a guy in a home booth just videotaping Soke teach. And what we'll do is we'll go through and we'll move. Some of it's kind of boring, there's just filler stuff. But we'll get to something and we'll look where Soke's talking about something. Maybe the translators translate something, but if it seems interesting, we're wait a minute, and we'll ask Hiromi. Okay, Hiromi, with your extensive knowledge of this thing, what is he actually saying? And then we can also work on something that they're working on there. So now remember, these go back from 2003, somewhere in there. So they're mostly all in the year of Jupo Sesho stuff. So I just threw one on. So we did number 2 or 3 the last time. So I just flipped the number 4 this time to see where we're at. And we want to kind of just randomly go through here. So I don't want to spend forever on this. We'll go 10 minutes in and just see what happens, right? Okay, so we're right in the middle of something here. Obviously. Multiple attackers. So where's Hiromi anyway? So here, hold on to this and just talk into this. So this will go, theoretically. Let's see what's on. There. Now it will go on there, so it'll be a clear recording. So what was Soke just saying? Just people understand. Could you hear it? Yeah, at the end or whatever.
At the end, he said, next one is a bigger one, so easy to cut,
So I guess we're just going through the dudes doing this, taking turns.
We're practicing right now with just one kunai. Really, in a situation like this, maybe you want all over your body so that you can be protected when you cut. So please practice 10 kunai.
Stop. stop. So, Soke said, like we are learning Juposesho, and if like one kunai and Juposesho is like difficult to do, so that's why normally we have a lot of kunai inside the clothes or like attaching somewhere.
Hide a bunch of kunai
And then,
around your clothes. Yeah.
Because of it, like even we get cut because kunai is there, so like our damage will be less. So minimum 10 kunai you should attach to the body, That's what he said.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank God. Wow. It's great warfare, though.
Well, so maybe it's important to talk really quick about this idea of Juposesho, right? So what's this Juposesho idea is you are here and your opponent's facing you, so you have like a two-dimensional thing, right? And then you think about, well, okay, so then you have another person here, maybe now you're three-dimensional. But what Soke is saying is Juposesho is 10-dimensional, not really, but you understand, right?
Yeah.
So you have to think about from any direction.
So the real meaning of Juposesho is like a tenchi and 8 direction, right? So like especially we are ninja, so we have like a ku and the doton means somebody maybe just show up from the under the ground, So or like normally like we have a suneate, right? But if we attach the kunai in suneate, normally ninja people like tried to cut here or here, right? So if kunai is there, it's protectable. And also like doing the Juposesho, of course some direction we need to sacrifice. So like if kunai is this side, sacrifice here, even get cut, kunai will stop. So like we will come around or something, That kind of mind we need to have.
Yeah, so let me finish explaining Juposesho because you're getting a little bit ahead of the process here, which is if I'm looking at this person in front of me, of course I'm thinking, how do I bring my attack to them from this angle? But with the Juposesho mindset, you're thinking about, what if I could replicate myself, 10 of me, all surrounding this other person? What could number 7 that's over there do to this guy? Even though I'm here, but if I could replicate myself, like they do in anime, okay? So what could I do? And then you start to think about like, well, how could I make that kind of thing happen even though I am in front of the guy, or I am wherever I am relative to the guy? How could I make that kind of thing happen? So when we look at like what we did earlier today in the training, where I said, you're actually going past the guy and you're out here, you're moving into a place that is weak relative to the other guy. Feels like that, right? That's Juposesho in terms of, from his perspective and from your perspective, you're no longer in the fight. You're some dude that's over here, that's over here. But you're able to do a thing out there. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So this is one of the ways of thinking about this Juposesho. So Hiromi said, your 8 main ways, then up and down, right? So everybody already knows that with like cuts and whatnot. So take that into account. There's other things that we'll talk about, but that's one. The other is Hatsumi Sensei keeps talking about, whenever you think of 1, think of 10. Think of 10. 10 translators to translate what I just said. 10 ways of thinking about whatever it is that you're doing. Okay? Did you want to say something else?
Yeah, and Soke said, so everybody, you should make 10 kunai and have it.
So you guys understand that? Just hiding 10 kunai in the places where
make
people
it
may want to
yourself.
cut. Yeah, and
Make
make
by
it.
yourself.
Yeah, and make the kunai. Yeah. What's that? Well, so there's 2 parts to Mark being the translator here, which is he's in the middle of being uke, kind of. He's in the middle of stuff. And also, yes, it's difficult to say all of that stuff in that moment.
目つぶしに手裏剣持って忍者が行くんだけどさ
He's saying 10 whatever.
carry all these the shuriken, the kunai, what else was it? ね、あと忍び縄ね、忍び縄 rope, things like that.
それでkunaiで持って刺しておいて腹っぱなんかだと紐引いておいてね
And maybe you could anchor kunai. kunai on the ground with the rope attached, you could use that too.
でそこに鈴をつけておいたりしてね、眠るときはね、
Maybe attaching a bell to it so you can
あ
sleep
っちこっち
without someone
鈴をつけておいて、
creeping up on your back.
それで眠るとき
Use
に
these kunai in many ways, even for sleeping at night.
So setting a trap, setting an alarm system.
So is that understandable? The translation is
Yeah, I'll say it real quick.
understandable?
He just said, stick the kunais in the ground, put your rope, you got your ninja ropes, he said, put bells on it. When people come through, they trip the bells, ring, and wake up while you're sleeping. So it's just a security system for you sleeping. So he's just talking about, you're a ninja, you're loaded with all this stuff that you have. And think about it.
The minimum 3 things, like makibishi, metsubushi, and shuriken, and like of course kunai, and like a kunai. Actually, like when we sleep, we can put it bell there, but we can make trap, like an easy trap, like a kunai with like a ninja nawa, so the rope, and then just making the.
Yeah, that's what I just
Yeah.
said. Yeah, thank you.
That's it.
鈴の音で目覚める。
So you wake up by the sound of the bell.
これでこうやってね、ここで押さえる練習するね。これはショートともね、こう、だから肘つけてるわけです、さっきみたいにね。
So you put your elbow in now.
で、こういうことです。抜くときにこれ担当なんだろうけど、こう肘に使うことで、こういうの峰で落ちてるだろう。で、これじゃないと手折れちゃうから。
So that this, the power behind this, by putting it into your body, break the neck.
これね、抜いてね、あいつ来た時この肘でこういうことを抜く。
Again,
No, I'm working, Robbie.
Yeah, so if we want to, we can also try a little bit of this kind of thing. This is pretty simplistic looking though, right? I don't think anyone has much trouble. It's just the Muto Dori, and he's just saying keep your elbow here as you just get out of the way, and then you're able to just smack right in there. Kind of like what we were doing today with the Teodoki, right? Just keeping it here, not arm powering it. So let's just do this. Let's just like go through it a little bit more here and just get to a different class. Try to get to some more stuff. So you hear how noisy it is in the background? Yeah. This is also part of the problem with training at like a lot of these classes is the acoustics were horrible. A lot of you been to old Hombu, and then like this place has a wood floor, this ISA place, you could not hear what he was saying. So even if you could understand, you couldn't hear. Just like and everyone's standing up, but you can't hear what he's saying. It's so difficult there.
They were doing it in the wrong direction.
From here, I cannot understand. I needed to see because.
We'll keep going. I understand, Hiromi. Don't worry. Just follow me. All right, you'll be okay.
Okay.
相手が来ていくときにこれでもって相手を打つ練習する。頭を行くようにしてこう打つ。なるべくね、下で小手を打たれないようにすることね。これが大事ね。小手を打たれないようにここで持ってすれば、はい、こうやってね。小手を打たれないようにすることね。
Did you understand?
Yes, I understood. So, did you guys catch that? What's happening there? So he reversed it. So he was a sword cutter, right? So the technique before this is receiving with the kunai. We've all done this kind of thing. Tessin, kunai, shorts, whatever. Receiving and turning and doing something. And what he's showing is, like he always does, when Soke is the attacker, he does not do a so-called committed attack. No point, ever. Never is he doing that. And here he's saying the same thing. He's like, you don't cut through. You cut with the intention of you're putting the thing over here. He's coming for to meet you, and you can smash. He's using the suba. Suba, and he's smacking there, and then because now you've created this connection and you're inside the other guy's space, then you can come through, which will connect a lot to this idea of the sanshin that we're going to be talking about over the weekend, which is as a brief glimpse ahead that we are going to be first. We want to get something on his side of the tennis court so that he has to react to it. That's what Soki's doing all the time. He's the server. He's just like, he's constantly the server, forcing the other guy to react to it. So in this case, he's going like he's going to come through and just pulls it in, puts it right there. Now the other guy's got to deal with it. He's got to do something, which means now he's on the back leg and Soke's already able to go on to the next thing. Does that make sense?
So should I add it?
So you,
It seemed a little bit like a melting through kind of.
yeah, it is. It is. So what did you want to add to that, Hiromi?
So what Soke said is, when we have a sword, the very important thing is we shouldn't let them cut our kote. That's what he said. So its theory is exactly same what Rob said, because we cut that way, so means he cannot touch our kote, right? Like if the kunai will touch to our kote, we will lose, because kunai is hookable to take our scar. So
So on all the sword stuff that we do, right? We always talk about where's the fulcrum when you're holding a sword. It's the kote area. It's right here, right?
So
Soke's saying don't let them get control of
kote.
that.
Yes.
Okay.
Don't give your
Don't
kote.
give control of that. Which again, we want to take control of theirs, and we don't want to give them control of ours. Does that make sense? Just boom, coming right in there. So if you want to, we can also play with this idea for a minute. Just do, or we'll do that in a couple minutes. So we'll just kind of go through some more of this right now, right?
小手に入れないさせない一方接触で大丈夫こうやってね手を打たないようにさせることわかるねこうやってねでこっちを切ろうとしてる相手は来られないわかる
When using the sword, to not let him get
刀
in.
で切ろうとしないねこれを起点とすることをよく覚えておく一方接触でね
Not letting him cut him, but covering himself.
この中入れないことねここから中入れないことこうやってわかんないでこう指だそれこのつばを支点として動く練習してください切るんでもねどう切るんでもねこれでこういくどう動けるこれでこう来てもねつばで行くようにあとは動きあるから足で動いてる
Does that look like the archetype sword thing?
That's so good.
Yeah.
Seeing him and Soke do this.
So what he said there is, it's like, if you cut at the body, it's the same thing. Use the suba as the fulcrum. Use the suba as the fulcrum. So you're not trying to just cut, you're trying to whoop, create the reaction, and now you use that as a fulcrum to move around it. So actually, let's do this now, because now let's get into a little bit of sword on sword. Let's use some shinai. That's pretty easy for us.
I've got one shinai you can use. And then we've got these padded ones over here, and then you guys brought your own shinai.
Okay.
Here, Rob, grab mine here.
Okay, I'll grab yours.
Rob,
You grab
up
it.
here too, right?
Here's a couple borrowed ones. You guys can use these borrowed ones. Match your swords up when you're not talking. That's fine. Is there another one?
We have one extra over here.
It's with mine and Robin's. I don't know if that's one of the stupid things. Oh, it's absolutely. It's just old. Okay.
Okay. So, what we're going to be doing, just remember the camera's right there, so try not to stand right in front of the camera so we can all see what's going on, is even with this sword, if I'm the attacker coming at Dom right here, right? So maybe I'm here, whatever, and I go to cut. So I'm going to go to cut, and you're going to just do whatever you want to do. Just doesn't matter. He's going to do whatever he wants to do, right? So I'm here, and I go, whoop. So already Soke stopped, and now he's pushing that into that position. Does this make sense? And you notice, even though he was Shiraishi kind of short, Soke's still lifting this up. So I'm actually not fighting his sword. Soke's not fighting his sword. See how Shiraishi's shoulders are behind his hips right there? Okay, this is what Soke is doing. He's trying to get the shoulders behind the hips. He's not trying to do this. Okay, he's going boom, and then he said, and then you just come. See how he's stepping like that? So now what's he got to do? He's got to follow through, and Soke's just like, come through here like this. Does that make sense? So let's try that. You're just going to do your attack, and with the idea that you're not going to like let your tip go all the way over there. You're going to be like, ooh, And now, see, so you could just like come in here and then boop, and you can be like this.
So not the versus kunai.
Okay, well, we could use a kunai too if you want to do that. You could do it, it doesn't matter. Because I'm only going to do this for a minute. It's just the idea of this thing. Just the idea of this thing, okay? So let's try that with this idea. Yeah, you might want to go across this way. Yeah, you can do it with a kunai, Hiromi. Or knife. Short sword. He said shoto, he said tanto. It's all the same thing.
You're the attack me.
You got to win, Dom. If you're the attacker, you're winning. So don't go too fast, guys. Remember, you're just trying to get the idea of this. Don't go into your battle mode where you got to win right now. So who's the winner here? Who's the attacker? Were you? So you got to win. Okay? So do your thing. Do your thing. So now, see how you're letting your sword cave in? So guys, check this out a minute, all right? What happens, come on over here a minute, because I want to get this on camera. So go sideways for this, just for the camera. You're going to do the same exact thing. So stop. So right here, you're feeling, there's this fulcrum here, so you're gonna go around the fulcrum. The problem is, this guy is never just stopping there while you do that. So you had the first mover advantage, and that you were here. Can you step back out? You were here. And then you kept walking, and you let your sword go back like this. Do you understand? So you had the fulcrum, now you don't. Now he has the fulcrum. Why? Because you let your sword tip go back. So let me do this to Brian just so you can see. So when you come in, you go boom, boom. Do you see what happens right there? See how I'm pushing this up and back? Notice my sword tip at no point is going back like this. It's forward here. Now watch as I just do my see how it never goes back? And he just walks into it. And I just keep into this. And if you watch, that's all Soke's doing. See right there? Yeah. See what it looks like? It's just, okay? It's just that. Okay? Yeah, there's no collapse. That's not to say that there isn't a time for like, pulling your sword off something. But that's not what he's doing right now. What he's doing is a variation of our archetype move. Okay? So again, you're going to, and then lift him up so that when he's doing whatever he's doing, it makes him go. Right? So he's here, now he's here. See the shoulders and the hips out of alignment? That's what we want to get. And then he has to fix himself. He's got to try and pull his hips back under his shoulders. And in that moment, so he can just like, next. Okay? So let's try that again. Thank you for that. Yes. Here.
You're going to be. Okay. Now
And you're Shiraishi.
You just stand there and kill.
So do that again and then stop at your initial positioning. So stop. So Tony, you're in a retreating position, right? So you're here. You need to be like that.
Okay.
Right? See that right there? So see how Paul just went to adjust himself?
Right.
Okay? So as soon as you lift, you need to come forward with your left foot. So you're a little bit, your feet are backwards.
Oh, okay.
So check this out. I'm just going to do this, right? So when you go, boom, boom, see I'm here with this right foot, and it goes, understand? It's super duper basic, sorry.
No, but it's like, so now it's like...
It's the same, it's all the same thing. So this archetype goes like this, it goes, right side, that's the basic pattern of, you're hiding behind your sword. I see I'm not the only one that got red today. It was surprising, right? Yeah, Paul's pretty good. Totally didn't feel it. I was just looking in the mirror, I'm like, whoa, I have tan lines.
It was proud of me.
Right? And then the sun popped out. Your cutter, you're the winner. So you got to cut first then.
Yeah.
You're receiving his cut. You got to be the cutter.
Okay.
I know you're uke, but the uke wins in this case.
Okay.
It's all backwards, world. There, now, hang on. See how you're way up here? You need to go. Now, bend your hips down, push this up, and come forward with don't come forward with your left foot yet. Bring your left foot back, turn sideways. No, don't move this foot. Pull your left foot behind you. More. Turn sideways. Okay? Now, fall forward with your other foot. Boom. Do you understand? So watch the movement of this. It looks like this. So it's just kamae that you're hidden behind. So see how I'm behind my sword? You're like this.
Okay.
You need to be like this, and then it goes. Okay? I know it's kind of weird, and I'm making it the big, hey brother, clunky movements. Okay, no worries. You can grab the sword if there's another one. And Hiromi's standing around. There's a shinai if it's okay, someone can use it. I don't know if that's a sacred shinai.
That's better. Because I realized I didn't mean to go like this.
So we just watched the Hatsumi Sensei video, right? And the basic idea is, Soke is showing like if you cut, you're really attacking in a way that they respond to, and you attack in a way that they can't get you with their defense. So with this, so Hiromi, can you do this with Vince? Can you explain as you go through, just like walk him through it step by step? Scoot down a little bit, just make room for another pair, that's all. Just a little bit room, just all. Stay in your own lane. Just kidding. No, just stay here. Here, you're here.
I was in my lane.
Yeah, we're just saying, just make room for another pair. We got more people here.
So it feels like it quickly becomes competition.
Why?
Sorry?
Why?
Well, when we both lifting,
So why is that happening?
probably just one of them's not close enough to the okay.
So here's the thing. Like say I'm cutting him, right? So back up a little bit. Okay. So I cut and I go woo, boom, I already won. So you're either standing here waiting around.
Right.
But maybe he's fast, right? So maybe he defends it, he does another thing, right? Whatever that is. This is just the first move. Then we have to practice like what are the hankas off of that happen instantaneously. You know what I'm saying? And it may be as you go up, he's lifting up, and so you're just going like, whoom, like that. Or maybe he tries to pull back out of it really quick and you just follow that. So it's the same thing we did today with the teodoki. Where's the pressure? And when do you feel it's going to happen? And it's going to be so Soke's here, and then he goes, and you see right now is when whatever's going to happen is going to happen. When you're out in this extended position. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think what we were doing is we sort of measured in base.
Yes, that's right.
Some of it's a reluctance to drive too fast into someone who's not calm.
So there is that. That makes sense. So guys, so we're playing with this, and of course the shinais are slippery, right? They slide a lot. So you got to be aware of the people next to you. But more important, I want you to see, let me borrow this a minute and just, I'm going to go this way just so you can see with Tony. is the footwork you need to get. So Soke may be like do walking around whatever here, but when he gets into what we call striking distance, okay, and he just intimately knows where that is. So he's just like do. Whoop. Notice. Sorry.
Okay.
Right? So you notice I'm way over here. See how, so I caught Tony back on this side, right?
Yeah.
Notice my right foot is forward.
Yep.
Okay, so don't move. If this was a cut, it would be like I'm already cutting through here, right? But I'm here so that when I go, this next move, I'm going to be going. See, this next step is not, nothing's random here. It's going, boom, in the right, this moment. So remember today, women's self-defense? It's going, boom, and you're in that position. So really, really slow. Don't push so hard because I don't want to make these things slap and hit someone in the eye, right? So I'm going to go slow. You go, ha, boom. Understand? Then this goes, boop. Does that make sense? I mean, I'm exaggerating. It doesn't look.
Yeah. Just like the Euro thing this morning that.
Right?
What is that?
Someone's phone. Okay.
Listen to last week.
Perfect time.
Right? Yeah. Right? Battle time. Okay. So let's find out where you can be so that you can just go boom, and be in this position where you're not like foot's all screwed up or whatever. This is a really basic thing. Okay. So try that again. I want to be Hatsumi. Yes. So he just falls right off like a speed bump. Just he falls right off.
So, some of that's because you
Yeah. Serve a deep tennis serve. So right now, so that's okay. There's only one problem. Can you do that again and just freeze there a minute? Don't move. You need to be here, and this needs to be here. See how you're still behind it? Now, as you push this up, you'll fall into place here. So there's straight on, and we're here, but you want to have a little bit of, see, just a little bit right here, and it goes, mean like Totoku, right? It's just a giant Totoku. Well, I mean, Totoku is the whole thing, so it's just a regular Totoku. So you're muscling it. You're like muscling it. So make contact and freeze.
Okay.
Freeze. Now, take your muscle out of this, right? So now, yeah, it just goes. So and turn this way and have some angle like this.
Okay.
So now when it goes up, feel that?
Yes.
So again, I don't want us to be like completely sideways, but it's literally just a little bit. See, just a little bit of boom, but enough to me to come there. But just a little tiny bit. So don't move. Okay, I'm here. This is straight, and if I go just a little bit, see, I get a little bit of turn into that.
Yes.
That's all. I don't want to go. I don't want to be stretched out.
We literally in class the other day made note of you doing that and how that when you're turning, you're getting a little bit of forward pressure on the turn.
Yes. You're welcome.
You are awesome.
Vince, you and Hitomi got it?
Yeah.
You okay? Well, she said you're good.
Rob, since you're the opportunity to have subscripts.
What's that?
You have subscripts for your facial expressions.
Yes, yeah, that's right.
My wife has that too.
It's how you teach, man. So do it again, Mitchell. Do it again. There's still, you're moving forward, left and right equally. So that's not a wrong thing to move like that. You want to mostly move like that. But then there's times where you have a little. That's why you don't go into the complete sideways thing from the beginning, because you need to use it at the end of your movement. So it's like if I'm here and I go, so I can do that, but if I go, now I can't. Now it's just like, because I've taken this hip twist out. So you want to leave this in, and then you're here and you lift. You go boop up, you lift up and around.
Yes.
Does that make sense? It's weird. So an interesting thing with this women's self-defense, if you think about this, the starting point, this is the end point. Everything's happening right here. The stuff that can't be seen. So you see the beginning and you see the end, because that's where we stop. But all the cool stuff is happening right here, and it's very, very fast. So it's like if you do Ganseki Nage or whatever, you don't do Ganseki Nage here. You're not like, here I come. You're like, you know what I'm saying? But it's hard to see that. It's hard to get that. So even with this, you're going, right, and right before you're making contact, because you can see what's happening here. You're going whoop, and changing that, just a little bit of thing, and then you're on to the next piece. Okay, so yes, try to do that. Don't move. Just get back. Stay there. I'm just going to fix something here. Okay.
I think that we took out a lot of things that we weren't sure of.
Keep your elbows bent, but a little bit, and push up. See how it's starting to go in there? Now let this fall forward onto him. Okay. So you got to get this instead of here. You got to get it out. All your scapula should be rounded forward like that. See how far it is? So just pull your elbows back to your side. Okay. Now extend your elbows out and scapula. Look how much distance you gain. Okay, so now you've put the weapon on his side of the court instead of trying to protect from your side of the court like this. Does that make sense? Yes, of course, you're stronger here. But that's the illusion. Don't use power. So in this whole thing, Soki talks about women's self-defense is you must become weak. Not literally you got to be a weak person. You have to figure out this position in which you present weakness. It is part of Mutodori, but it's this concept of women's self-defense, which is women are weaker than they are. I mean, it's like physiologically they can't generate as much pounds per square inch output, right? But the same thing is true for smaller people to bigger people, men to men. So the whole point is it's not about women or men. It has nothing to do with that. It is this thing that men generally don't want to do, which is show weakness. But you have to show the weakness. And women can more easily show the weakness to get what they want. Well, they do all the time, right?
Equate this to that moment where you're at the end of going after 100 pounds. Nothing left. No strength, no nothing. How are you going to survive?
That's right.
My mindset is
That's right.
no strength.
You're gassed out for whatever reason. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right.
Well, I like it. I see what I'm doing very good with you. So,
Okay. So let's go back a little bit to the back to the movie, back to our regular scheduled programming.
Mm-hmm.
足でもこれブレーキが出る肘動作みんなね遠くから切るもんだと思ってるんじゃないねつばをしてるんですよ
Use the suba as the pivot point. You're not always cutting from a far away distance. Sometimes you're cutting in a close distance.
今の剣道は何かって嫌いっていうのはこの刃で持ってやると思ってからつば中心にして動けば
So what's important is not necessarily cutting with the edge of the blade, but using the suba.
前と勝ち目がある
And this actually has you have an advantage to using this.
So should
What?
I say, or is that enough?
You want to say that last piece that he said?
Yeah.
Something other than what Doug translated?
I don't know if Doug did or not.
He did. He got it. Just the very last words Soke said about Bato.
You know, like he said, like a control by elbow and move by walking. So means like don't try to cut by the arm, just arm is kamae and walk, that is important. And while we are walking, like if we can touch the elbow to control people, that is very important. And nowadays the iaido and kendo people focus on the blade, but actually if we focus on the blade, we cannot win. We always think about where is my tsuka, tsuba. That is very important. When we start to care about the tsuba to make the fulcrum, we can win. Okay.
Wow, that's good.
Okay. Sorry.
You're inviting him in, you're sucking him in, and taking it without recovery.
構えたとか形がなんかやってると遅いんだからな。
Posture of you're doing form, then it's too slow.
もうみんな市販だからいいんだよな。
Everyone's a shihan here.
市販じゃないから今。初心者じゃないんだから。いつまでも初心者じゃダメ。
Can't be a beginner forever.
ほら、はいプレイ。
You want to say? You want to say?
So everybody is shihan. That's why I'm telling you like this now. You know, like you guys shouldn't be the beginner.
So what he said was, you're not doing it from this kamae. You're not doing it from what you call a kamae, like this static kamae position. He's like, you're not doing it from that. You're doing it from this unformed thing that invites him in, and you're just moving in the midst of movement. So that's what he said leading up to that. And then he went into saying...
Yeah, yes, sorry. So he said, if from kamae or form, it's too late. That's why like, you shouldn't be like a move as a beginner, means hide the form, release the kata already. That is the point.
Yeah, he said, it's no good if you stay forever a beginner.
Yeah.
And so what he means, I mean, so people talk about, oh, I have the beginner's mindset. Yeah, what is a beginner's mindset? What is a beginner's mindset?
Mindset and the habit is completely different.
Yes. So we say this this concept of the beginner's mind. What's the Japanese word for it? No, shoshin. Shoshin. But shin can also be translated as body. So almost everyone who talks about the importance of the beginner's mind, so we got to do the same old basic over and over again for decades. What they really have is the beginner's body. Shoshin, the beginner's body. So it's the same sound, says the same thing, but different kanji, right? So the shoshin, Soke is saying you can't be a shoshin, you shouldn't be a shoshin forever. Which again alludes to, if you're a beginner, you learn positions, right? You learn these things. And then you start to go, and then you move past that. And he's saying, so everyone in here is, you're a shihan, means you're at the upper level, you're at the top of the system that we're in. So you got to stop doing that thing.
Yeah, and like as a Japanese perception, you know, like until get the shihan, we need to study like the correct kamae and how to use how to hold the sword, how to do the stuff. But after, actually not after, before get shihan, we need to understand why we go through that kamae, why that kind of things your teacher taught, and like understand the meaning, and then we should release the everything after, you know, like same as the food. If we eat the grapefruits, the skin, only skin is inside the mouth, and keep chewing. Why you do that? You can, if you get the juicy part,
you got all the nutrition out of it. You can throw the rest of it.
Yeah.
You don't have to keep chewing on it for the rest of your life.
Like that, you know.
Yeah.
Is that easy to understand?
Yeah, we got it.
So that was really an important piece there. Again, you must learn the basics, and then you have to revisit them with a refreshed mind. We'll all listen in on Paul's.
なんか形に小説がいるんだけどね。これ一応の場合ね。今のがちょっと話してくれる。
全然反対側作ったのに俺間違えて右側に来ちゃったんですよ。で、いやと思ったんだけど、全然当たらない位置、どっちから来ても当たらない位置。
そう、それを。
So what did Yabanaka say?
So actually, Soke make the open space for cut from this side, but I made a mistake and cut from that side. But the funny thing is, he is already take the distance enough for even I cut from this side or that side, I couldn't reach.
So the truth is, even though Soke is like, okay, here's this thing, we're working, this cut's coming in here, you don't know the cut's going to come in there. You can invite it in, so you say, but you don't know it's coming in. And so Soke is like, you have to be able to adjust right in that moment, which means, okay, my positioning has to be such that whether it's left or right or top or bottom, whatever, I'm still able to deal with that. Does that make sense? Not, if he cuts from the right, I do this move, but if he cuts from the left, I do this, because at that point, you won't be able to go, oh, I guessed wrong and I got to come over here. You won't be able to do that. Does that make sense? So that's what he's talking about in there, and then just demonstrating it.
This is Hicho.
Yeah, he said, and so you saw Soke going like, he's like, at Hicho. I mean, you know, it's a,
Yeah, but it is like the dog is peeing, ha ha ha.
yeah, yeah, like the dog's peeing on the fire hydrant, right?
どっち受けても大丈夫。向こうでどっちから開いても大丈夫。そういう動きを勉強してそれで入れる。それが必要。どこからそれが実法性思考で。どのところから来ても大丈夫なように勉強することが大事だ。それが実法性思考です。古典量だ。
Can you say that just that far? You want me to
Oh,
move on?
maybe he will say.
He will say more,
something,
yes.
Right?
必要の件、それから四刺激、それから十文字、この3つになってる十字件。これは3つ合わせて動けるようになるようにね。今主張やってるけどね、主張を十分にやってきます。
No, I mean after this, somebody tried to translate.
Yeah, Bruce is going to translate, or whoever's translating.
Let me listen, and I will add.
Right now, I cut from a different angle from the one before, but nevertheless, Sensei was out of the way, and he was still able to cut me. And this is the feeling which we're trying to understand here. It's common to the three techniques right now doing Kicho, so I'll go out.
はい、OK。
Yeah, he did super simple, nice. How does it say? But that is like okay. But like Soke really feel like everybody need to learn the good kukan. Not only the distance. That is distance and the timing. Like from Hicho. And like Hicho is like not complete by only Hicho. Hicho needed to like connect with like three different like Jumonji and another one I couldn't listen, but did you get it?
Ichimonji.
Ichimonji? Okay.
Yeah, it's Ichimonji, Jumonji, and Hicho.
Okay. So like three things is like if we need to do these three things, that is a core thing, but for it we need to learn the Juppo-sessho. So like for the Juppo-sessho kukan, distance and the timing, everybody need to study Hicho like this way, like anywhere cut, okay.
So,
okay.
yeah, so he said all three of these things come together in the Juppo-sessho. So it's not just, okay, we learn Ichimonji, and it has its own attack and distance, and then we learn Jumonji, which is the same attack but different distance, and then Hicho, it's basically the same attack with different distance, right? So he's saying if you understand all of these as you don't know which one's going to happen, but it's all the same thing. It's Hicho, but it's Juppo-sessho Hicho, which is like Soke always is. It could be anything. You have to understand that you're not going to be able to go, I'm going to do this move if he does that move. No. Soke is just saying like you're adapting in that 100th of a second instance, which means you can't be consciously thinking about it. Okay, does that make sense? So we'll watch a little bit more.
昔はね、棒の刀を持 思ったの。古い棒と、ね、だから小さい点じゃなくて古い刀がいいよね、古代です。だから昔は棒の刀を持ってね、それが三脚棒になってるんで、下はちっちゃくなってるんで、失礼します。それが
I wanna listen.
He's just changing the kanji.
It's written on that is kotachi, so as in a small sword. But what he's saying is the kanji is actually the kanji for old. It can also represent a tree that's made out of wood. So it doesn't have to be a sword. It could be something like a 3-foot stick, for example. And
だから今俺練習渡したけどな、そうやって読めるようにね、みんなね、いかに今日本の字っていうのはね、間違いを書いてるんですね。だから電書にも間違いたくさん書いてある。だからその字の反対側も読めなくちゃダメで、じゃないと電車は読めません。また武道もわかりません。ね。
So I've been giving out the potential here tonight, but you've got to be able to read it in this way, see the fact that sometimes mistakes are contained within it, and read beyond what's written.
はい。だからこんなですね。
Wow, Bruce so young, no? So the funny thing is, I don't know, like, did he translate or not? Because my English level, I feel he didn't. So, like, what Soke said is, like, I gave Densho to you guys, but you know, like, Densho has a lot of like a miss Chinese character, like a miss kanji. Like a mistakes. Kanji. So like inside the densho, a lot of mistake there. So when you read it, you must understand there is mistake. Otherwise, you cannot understand the martial arts, and you cannot understand. You cannot read densho. So you always need to think ura, you know, like omote ura, right? So like try to change the kanji. Added to different kanji, like kodachi or you know tachi, like which kanji is that, you know, like that kind of mindset. If you don't have, you cannot read it and you cannot understand martial arts.
Does everybody understand what she's saying? She's saying within the densho, like reading the actual densho, the Japanese kanji in it, right? Is sometimes the kanji is just wrong kanji. Whatever, you know, maybe through time, someone just wrote the wrong thing down. You know, they were like, it's this word was this, they just wrote the wrong kanji. Or, you know, it looks like another kanji and they missed a couple of characters, and then the next guy did it.
Kanji, you know,
like right.
Completely inside is different.
Yeah, right. So, or someone purposely wrote it wrong, right? This is another thing. So what Soke's saying is he's using the analogy of how he's always flipping kanji around for meanings, right? So, kodachi, this little short sword, okay, could be ko for old, like an old sword. And then it just went on to like, you keep changing kanji character around. So he said, you have to develop the ability, and he demonstrates it with using kanji, you know, when he's writing his kanji and changing characters. He's like, you have to have that ability when reading the densho. But he doesn't mean literally reading the densho. What he means is, you have to think, okay, this thing is being shown, but maybe that thing is actually wrong. The densho, even reading the densho correctly, that thing being shown is wrong. It won't actually work like that, which you see all the time if you train in Japan with like the shiteno. So you go to a Noguchi class now. He's all the time. He's like, this is what the densho says, but you can't really do that. You'll hear this every single class. It's like, so you got to do this. And you go to Nagato class. He's like, this won't really work. So just use this as like a thing to practice your kamae to look good and make sure that you do this. He's like, so when you attack, don't really attack because this won't really work. And he's saying that. And same thing with Ogri and Seno and Soke all the time. Like, okay, we're showing you these forms. You have to understand there's things in them that will get you killed. So don't be like, I have learned the correct densho. And that's Soke's. There's people in the room, I'm sure, that Soke was like at that moment. You know what I'm saying? That's why.
Yeah, he's a little like hard way. He said, "Dekimasen," like that, you know. He normally don't say that much strong attitude he has, but he clearly said, if you cannot do like this, you cannot do the martial arts like that, like a very strong tone.
That's what I'm saying. So many times he says that, but in the Japanese way, and then the translator, it's like
mild up.
mild, mild. It's just like taking all the spice out of it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, and Bruce especially, he's British, so got to be proper stuff, Whereas if it was Tim Bathurst, he'd be like, all you guys, your wankers doing this thing, he'd be like, you can't, he would do that. But again, Soke's Japanese was a little bit more difficult there, so it gets hard to translate that in a moment. So basically, in a nutshell, you have to be able to flow in that moment, that this form is a moving form that is not really this complete thing that we do, and take advantage of that. And if you don't understand that about martial arts, and he's using the Densho and Kanji as the analogy, you can't really do the martial arts. That's what he's saying. So, kind of everyone that's been doing martial arts a long time, you already understand that. You already understand that. Whatever the form that you learn is, it ain't working like that. It might work like that on a time. And another time, it ain't working like that, okay? So we'll turn this off in a minute. Let's go back to our sword, and let's just practice our basic archetype of this. So we'll flip it around again. So, Tony, I'll borrow you. And you can just go this angle where Robin is, where I'm going to stand. So this catches us both. So now, Tony's going to be the attacker, and he's going to do one attack, right? And I'm going to, whoop, and I'm up here, and see how I just did this? See, I'm, again, using this fulcrum. I don't know what his attack is going to be. We're going to start with this archetype here. But again, I'm here, and this starts pushing up. See how it's getting back there? And as I push, I fall through, and this comes into here. Okay? So that's the archetype. Those of you that know this already, work with someone that doesn't know this. Okay? Don't work together because you already know how to do it. So let's try that real quick. Who did I take this from? Oh, maybe it's hit on me. Whatever. Okay. Yeah. I'll leave this on here. We can. It's fine. We might come back later. So hang on a minute.
Not sure what
No, stop bringing your feet forward.
Oh, okay.
Lean into them. So you gotta have a better position. You gotta have a wedge shape, right? So just hold your sword up a minute, Brian. So if you're like this, between us, who's gonna win this? Why is he gonna win? Don't do anything. Why is he gonna win? Just stand there. Just be flat. Just stand. Why is he gonna win? Why would you beat me in this position?
He has a better structure.
No. He fucking outweighs me.
And
So-
he leaves that nicely. It's muscle.
If
It's all muscle.
if I'm standing up straight, he's standing up straight, physics dictate the heavier dude is going to win. He outweighs you too. Okay? So you want to change the physics in this thing, angle towards him. So when we're doing this, you don't know. I mean, it doesn't matter if he's heavy or not. If you train to be like, well, if I'm the same size as him, I'm going to move like this. And if you can't do that, you don't know what he's going to be. So when we're doing this, as you come in, right, it's just whoop. See how I'm doing this automatically? And notice, then I go whoop. Okay? Be careful with that because you get smack you in the eye with your own sword there. Okay, you understand? You're moving in and it looks like this. Boom. And then you're pushing up and coming through, okay? Don't pull your sword back like that, because it will, if you pull your sword back like that in this thing, especially with these, you could wing yourself in the eye with my sword. So like when I was here, you pulled my sword back,
Right.
and I did that. But otherwise, you're gonna pull it right into your eye. I'm just saying, everyone needs to know, like, be careful with these things, because it will slide in there. So don't do that. At that point, some other time you can do it, but not right there, okay? So try this. Try this again. No, I'm just fixing him. He was leaning back. Just do it correctly. Tum, 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 tum. Okay, but don't let your sword go away. Your fulcrum's you gotta keep the fulcrum between you and him. So Paul,
Can you move it?
just Robin and Matt, can you go down just a little bit? There you go. That's it. There's two already there. Okay, and you guys down just a little bit. This way a little bit more. Just so they can get on the mat. When you're coming forward, cut slow, right? You're going. See how your sword's not, anyway, there's no threat to him whatsoever. He's going to kill you. Okay, cut slow. Do you understand? Then this goes. Different feeling, right?
Very different.
Got it.
It's danger.
That's yeah, right? What? What's going on? What? I'm gonna need some gum. Do you want a piece of gum? Do you want it?
Nothing this day is Ray gotta come here.
Tomorrow.
How about Jeremiah?
I don't think he's coming. Yeah, right? Yeah, but you're falling backwards. これはアンタイだから習って。
I can already feel his pressure, yeah.
So a word of caution for those of you that are the attackers, don't attack with all your might, because let me show you what the actual, this move should be. Just back up over there. No, just stay over there. Okay? Now, pretend that I'm here and you're going to do your cut, and I'm just going to do something that you might all recognize.
Oh boy.
Okay? Now, I'm going to do it in a form that you should, this is Hatsumi Sensei, the last 10 years of teaching, doing it all the time. It's called toe sweeps from Togakure-do. And he's like this, and he goes, Phoom. So, start to notice something? We'll talk about this tomorrow. But here's the first move, goes like this, pop. So if you come diving in with this thing, you're going to eat this. So for the person doing this, don't do this. Cut slow. You understand? He's already won. He's already won. You're going into a defensive move. It's not a defensive move. It's literally, and you're throwing it at him so that he gets penetrated by it. But I'm not letting it go. I'm going, whoop, and then I'm coming here. See what that looks like? See how my sword's on his side of the court? Yeah. And then we go, boom. And we still got this fulcrum, okay? Yeah. So everybody try that and just be careful.
Hello?
Yeah. Yeah, don't collapse. Good, Paul. So when you do, you go straight And as soon as you feel a little bit, then you go whoop with your sword, but you're pushing up. You don't pull the tip away. So you're going straight and then pushing this in like that. Right?
You're coming in.
Yeah, except that this is the archetype, so it's the opposite person wins. The uke is winning now. I mean, the tori is winning now, not the uke. So when the soke did it, he was uke, and he was winning. There is no tori in uke. But for this case, the initiator is going to lose. For this case, soke was the initiator, and he won. So that's what we did earlier. Now we're just doing the other side of it. The same thing. We're just doing the other guy wins. Okay. The non-initiator. There is no uke and tori. You feel like you're too tall there? You feel like you're too tall there? Can you just come around with the sword? Yeah, right. Can you do it without putting your hand on her hands? No, just you're going. Are you just being nice?
Well, I'm trying also to recognize that genuine
Well, yeah. I'm talking about afterwards. So you've got the position, and then you're coming in here and you're going. I'm just wondering why you're doing that. No. Wait. You got to cut him. There you go. Yeah, so see how, because you're high, can I have this a minute? You're like this. And you want to be careful of that because it may slip off. She's short and open. So you need to get...
So bring it down.
Yeah.
Let it come down.
Oh. Can I do one to her? Getting slow. I don't want to kill you with this. Understand? For all there's like, you just never get to come back around.
Yeah.
So just remember, whatever her kote is, that's your target. You're a little bit high for her.
So if I touch the blade too high, I just have to move down.
Yeah, because if I'm like, right? Yeah, you got to do that. Because if you go up higher, go back up and go higher, be higher on my blade, yeah, I'm going to fall and kill you, right? Maybe.
Yes.
So, Ryan and Vince. Hi. So guys, and this may be for everybody. You're crossing your swords up, and then someone is pushing sideways. You guys are pushing sideways against each other. Okay? So you're doing this. Don't do that. Be like that. You understand? Like bull. Okay?
Like that parade.
So when you see it, just hold your sword up a minute. I'm not doing that. I'm going. You understand? Remember. Right? Boom. Bah. Okay? So if you remember the year of the Tsurugi, which was the double-edged sword thing like that, Soka did a lot of this one-handed, right? Of going. So the target is right here, but he's going. Then But the whole idea is he wasn't going windshield wiper against the sword. You're making it's a spiral because you're moving forward while lifting, right? Moving forward while coming in and boom. In this case, we're using the suba to kind of pump them up, and then we're coming around like this. So the tip, it's like if it's a dragon's head, right? If the tip doesn't go back, it's going and in. So just hold your sword for a minute, right? Just point like so. Don't do anything. It doesn't go like this. Doom. It goes woo, right back in. Does that make sense? That's what your tip is doing. Your tip is never going back. I mean, you know, you may go back, but for our archetype, we want to be going like this. Boom. So the tip is still forward, then okay? Basically, it won't be perfect like that, but this is just the basic drill form, okay?
So why don't we make the rotation?
Does anybody want to train with Hiromi? Just kidding. Okay, you guys can rotate. Rotate one to the right. Right? Wait, there's no right. What do I do? What do I do?
See you guys. Okay. You're doing it? Okay, I'm doing it.
No, Hiromi, don't. Kensaki wa Masugu でも前だけ。そう。こういう風に。
You're dictating the speed.
No. You keep. It's the same thing I said to Vincent. You were too small. You cannot be upright. You cannot be straight up and down against him. He outweighs you. He'll win you every time. You have to be like this. Okay? Now, this has to go. So you're about to fall there? Fall and lift.
And is that okay?
You can take a step.
Or I should go other side.
Watch. Boom.
So it's okay at the end.
I'm not doing anything. I'm going.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to. He will move. Yes. So don't let your sword get pulled out here and come around. It's just boom. Watch out, Robbie. Watch out. Don't come out here when they got swords.
Mama,
What are you asking? What do you want?
I did it all.
The whole thing? Mm-hmm. Oh, that's really good.
Mama, or remember the top.
Okay, but tell her from over there. So what's next, Robbie? Hey, Paul, when you go to cut with the sword, you don't need to do this. You don't need to throw it behind you. You can just go. Okay, there's no need for throwing it behind you.
Let me ask you a question.
All right.
How did you get from this side to this side again?
So just do this side first. Wait. Switch feet. Your left foot should be forward. Now, push up underneath, come up underneath. No, your right foot should be forward. You should be bend that right leg forward. This should be like this. Now, as you come through, push it up, her sword up over her head, and let this foot fall through. No, don't bring your sword back. Push this, just come up like this. So the sword, your sword tip, the top of the sword, this part, it's called the kensaki. This is right here. It doesn't go back. It only goes forward. All right, so just cut a minute. So you're going to be here, and you're just going to go. It never goes back. So this is good for you because Robin has a little bit of sword experience, so you get to feel like where your little nuance needs to be on your connection, so that he doesn't kill you while you're killing him. You just do whatever you're doing. Right? So see, that's what I'm saying. You're going past the pivot point.
Okay.
So Robin's purpose in life is to foul you up. Not just you, everybody. He's going to find a way to like just cut on a little bit so that it can't, then he kills you, right? Thank you. Keep doing it. And you crush her, but he needs to work on this because he's got to find that point. Where did you get it? I'm saying, where was it? Where you had him? Don't have him and then keep going past it. Have him and then next thing. Does that make sense?
It's the equivalent of covering only as far as you.
Well, can you just do that again in a minute? This is a good one. And stop. Go back one step. Okay. This is pretty good, right? So if you go, I mean, you got to feel, how are you going to do this next piece? Because he also wants to be doing this to you too, right? So how are you going to do that next piece? You just did it pretty good, but right now you should be a little bit more like this, and a little bit like this hand should be kind of like this. So now as you push and fall, you're going to go and see how your sword is over here. That's what you can't do. When you fall, you can't fall. Shouldn't really fall. Yeah, you got to change. You got to. Don't let your sword just go, because he's going like, because you're like this. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
I feel a gap there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Overcommitting to the first.
Yes, and that's because you stopped here, and then you fall here, stop, and then you fall right, and if it just goes like, you won't do that.
Walk instead of.
Yeah. But the walk has to be right. You have to have this motion. You can't just literally walk.
When we're done fixing him.
Yes. All right. Can I do one on Robin? See how my sword's still on that side? And I'm not here? Because now this is not between us.
Yeah.
He's gonna get, so I'm here. Then I'm just gonna go.
Yep.
Okay? So I'm saying the snake's head or the dragon's head goes, boom. Anyway, our time is up. We're gonna do this again tomorrow. Okay, guys. Time's up. You can do one more while I turn off my phone alarm. Yeah. All right. We got to get going because we got dinner reservation. Because everything closes at 9, so we got to get there before 9. I know it's weird, right?
We're actually good till 9:15.
So we're going to bow out real quick. So what's that?
Good till 9:15, but we still have to get there. Shigen Arametsu Daikomyo. All right, so tomorrow we're really going to get into some good stuff. I mean, tonight was fun tonight, like looking at the Kuden and going through that. And tomorrow we're going to like kind of officially just go through step by step, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these 6 treasures of the Bujinkan from Hatsumi Sensei. Okay, so thanks guys, appreciate it. Thank you.